It feels sort of strange to say it out loud, but over the last 4 years, I have spent over 5,000 hours speedrunning GTA 5.
He sits on his ass all day, smoking dope and jerking off while he plays that fucking game.
Needless to say, I've learnt a lot of random stuff about this game in that time, and in this video I want to impart some of that onto you. Some of the stuff I'll present may seem sort of niche to speedrunning, but I don't want to tread the same ground that every GTA 5 fact video has. I want to show you things that you likely have never seen before. I'll start with something simple. At any point in the game where you can make a save file, you can use that save file to warp yourself to your safe house. Simply load into that save file and use a character swap button that isn't the character you're loading into. I'm currently loading into Michael, so I'm going to hold down F6, which would be the character swap button for Franklin. Just let go of the button as you're loading in. I'm honestly not sure why this works, but it does work with every character. Graphical glitches during these warps are fairly common. The game seems confused as to where it's meant to put you. I think most people agree that scouting the port isn't really a great mission. Having to move a bunch of random crates, why is this even in the game? Thankfully, if you really want to, you can do something that speeds it up by about 20 seconds if done correctly. Normally it is impossible to move both of these crates at the same time. When you ram one into the other, you will just drop the crate you're currently holding. But if you restrict your FPS very low, the physics of the crates doesn't seem to work, so you can push the two crates as if they were on ice. I'll speed this up for your convenience. I'm obviously not very good at this strat, but it is kinda neat.
If my work here is done, I'm going up the gantry.
Distance scaling has a very useful effect for speedrunning. Look at this street. Look at the cardboard boxes, the trash on the side, the fire hydrant at the end, the newspaper holders. Now let me show you what this looks like without distance scaling. All that garbage completely removed from the side of the road, which is very useful when you want to cut corners or catch curbs or whatever during the speedrun. As much as I love low distance scaling, I really missed this trash pile. It was so good to use it to start the mission shop. Simply marvelous. That effect going into Trop, of course, isn't unique. There are many different oddities with mission markers and waypoints in this game.
Hello.
When you play this game, you quickly come to realize that some mission markers are much larger than they actually initially appear to be. Take this one for example, at one of the assassination missions. In 100%, of course, we have to loot a store, and always you get the cops on you. Very inconvenient. And you don't want to spend the time to have to run out into the mission or run out and lose the cops somewhere, so you just go into this fan here, and it starts the mission. You wouldn't think that looking at the yellow dot outside, but you can just go straight through this wall. Now that is quite a distance. It's not even close. Another mission marker that's larger than it probably should be is the one on this water tower during Nervous Ron. Obviously, when speedrunning the game, you use your ATV to skip climbing up the first ladder. Now, under normal circumstances, this doesn't get you all the way to the top. It did for me once though. He's not evil, he's not necessarily good, he's just a guy who takes his job quite seriously. Oh my god! Some mission markers are frankly just bad at what they're meant to do. Take the beginning of the mission Pac-Man for example. The yellow dot is meant to stop you, removing all of your speed so you can get the phone call from Lamar. However, if when you hit the yellow dot, any of your wheels are in the air, with a bike or car, it will not stop you.
Green light, matrazzo, fuck you.
Some of the skips that we utilize throughout the run are actually pretty interesting. Here, for example, Martin Madrazzo is meant to send 2 black vans full of guys to come kill you. Those, of course, would take time to kill, so we drive in a very particular way, and for whatever reason, through this route, they don't spawn.
Chill out. That coach should be doing the Russian broad. Chick needs to chill the fuck out.
Dead men. Dead men.
Dead men. Whew. Hey, Thanks for the help out there today.
Yo, so for the last time, move it. Let's go, come on!
Maps is this way, boys, alright?
Doing the jewel store heist, you would probably think that you had to go underground to escape the cops, but that's not actually true. All you have to do is just stay within a certain range of your crew so that you don't lose them. Given that relative freedom, we've constructed our own route that abuses rubber banding to get through this section a lot quicker. Rubber banding is an effect that you've probably seen in many different video games, where an NPC is meant to be a certain distance from you, either behind or forward, and if it falls out of that range, the game will massively increase the NPC's speed so that it can get to that point again.
He's over there!
I'm here! Keep driving!
The so-called Lamar Boost at the beginning of Franklin and Lamar is probably the best example of rubber banding.
Right up here, homie!
Lamar is meant to be in front of us, so the game increases his speed massively to get him there. We balance on his nose to utilize his increased speed to make us go faster. Probably the most useful boost throughout the run is brake boosting with and without Franklin's power. This is what a non-powered brake boost looks like. Currently I'm at 154 kilometers per hour. I'm going over a small bump, so my two front tires are going to land before my back two tires. I have my brakes set to mouse button 4 and I'm going to squeeze it and then let go before I land. The skid marks on the ground show that I brake boosted. I'm currently at 151. And within a few moments I'm peaking at 169. What's more interesting, however, is the powered brake boost. Watch the speedometer here as I chuck in some of Franklin's ability while performing a brake boost. It of course takes practice, but you can get insane speed using powered brake boosts in single player. Of course, controlling yourself at that speed is somewhat difficult. I originally intended for this video to be longer, but if it does well, I'll just make a part 2. I hope you're all doing well.